Hey you guys, this is DJW0071. So the thing that would keep me up at night if I were an atheist is basically being stuck with two problems. Because as an atheist, you have to believe either the universe is eternal, meaning that there's a backwards regression through time that goes on forever and ever, or you have to believe that the universe sprang into being without a cause, from nothingness. And let me just explain this a little bit. This is pretty easily provable. You don't need a telescope. You don't need a laboratory. The eternal universe can't exist. Think about it like as if they were an infinite timeline stretching backwards forever. If that were the case, you'd never be able to transverse an infinite number of moments to get to the current moment. So time would have never gotten to where it is right now if it had to transverse an infinite number of moments to get here. So that just pretty much makes the whole infinite universe scenario impossible. So really, as an atheist, you're stuck with the other option, which is even worse in my opinion, that the universe sprang forward in all of its specific complexity from no thing. And that is a real toughie. I've never heard a good explanation of how this could be apart from God. And I've heard some explanations, but there's not really any good explanations. I've heard, the subatomic explanation that, quantum physics basically shows us that things can pop in and out of existence in a different way than in the larger world. But the problem is that you still need space for that. And if time didn't always exist and time had a beginning, which we've shown is, more than plausible, it's a must. Time had a beginning. So because of that, then that means space and matter had a beginning too, because the three are connected. The theory of relativity shows us that the three things are connected. You can't have space and you can't have matter without time. So if time began to exist, then the other things began to exist too, which means you don't have subatomic particles outside of space. If there's no space, there's no particles. So there's no quantum physics if there's no space. The same works for the superstring theory and all the other ideas that I've heard on this issue. You got to have space for these things to be working, and they can't work outside of space. So basically you have to come up with an idea that can cause a universe to exist from absolutely nothing, like what rocks dream about. That's Aristotle's definition of nothing. And when you ask honest atheists about this, they will say that they just don't know. And you're using God of the gaps, is what they'll say. You're using God of the gaps, and we're being honest by saying we just don't know. And I would say that I'm not using God of the gaps, and I'm not even asking you about God at this point. I'm just asking you to try to explain the beginning of the universe on atheism. Outside of God. Can you explain how that could happen? And the answer is no, they couldn't. And the answer is I don't know how it happened. And at least that's an honest answer. I think that we can know, though. We can know exactly what would be required to create a universe from absolutely no thing. The only things that really exist outside of time and space and matter is abstract numbers, like, the number 7, ideas, basically. And then, things that are non-corporeal, spiritual. So, and it's to me really interesting that God is the God of the Bible fits this definition perfectly. He is spiritual. It says in the Bible, God is spirit. So he's non-corporeal. He doesn't have a body. He's not made of matter. And then he's also outside of time, so he's not blocked by the time problem. And he's omnipresent, which means he's everywhere. So he's basically outside of space. He's not too concerned about physical space. So you need something. Whatever caused the universe has to be non-physical, non-spatial, and outside of time. And it has to be immensely powerful. God is said to be omnipotent, so he's all powerful. Okay. Someone who's incredibly intelligent, obviously, to be able to create the laws of physics and all the laws of logic and everything that we have here in the universe, and the order that we have here on Earth. He needs to be immensely brilliant, and he is omniscient. He's described as omniscient in the Bible. So my question to you is, first of all, isn't it odd that the God of the Bible fits these in such a way that is perfect? And how did the ancient Jews know to make their God in such a way if they were not scientifically advanced enough to know the necessity that would be in the beginning of the universe? Of course, they had no clue about some of the scientific data that we have today, understanding that time, space, and matter are connected and things like that. So that's my question, like, how did they know that God would have to have these specific attributes for the creation of the universe? The Hindus got it wrong. They have Vishnu and, different gods that have different sets of powers, but none of them are like the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible's got everything. He is all in all, and he's non-physical. He's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. So, when you see the truth, you should just get it. Get it, grab it, and it's a done deal. It's more than just knowledge and understanding of like the Bible and what the Bible says. I mean, all those things to me are very true, and they stand the test of time. They've stood the test of time. But to me, what really got me was the fact that when I called out upon the Lord, he was there waiting for me, and he communed with my spirit. Like, he was someone who touched me. He healed my body. He delivered physically in a one-on-one kind of way. So it changed my idea of God as I thought maybe if God existed, he'd be someone that was kind of far away and not personal, not involved in my life. He changed that idea that I had and made me understand that no, God is someone who can affect your life today, right now. And I'm telling you now that he is someone that loves you and cares about you and wants to have a relationship with you. In fact, he died for you. He died for you so that you could become a son of God, a believer. He shed his blood for you. So, that's good news. That's good news for this world. It's good news for people. If God exists, then it's better than Superman. It's better than any of those characters that we grew up with as kids. He is something very special, someone very, very special. Like Einstein said, he wants to know the mind of God, just because the universe is so amazing. Like, who could have done this? How could they do this? So, you guys, I just want to reach out to you and let you know that the truth is out there, and spiritual truth does exist, and you can know God, and God does deliver. It's not just a book written by ancient people thousands of years ago. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.